having some nice tea and conversation with my friend Rick Gill from Dasso. These guys make those beautiful, durable, and eco-friendly building materials out of strand bamboo. And I used several of them in my new house, which we were trying to build as sustainably as possible, which is how we found Dasso.
Which is excellent.
Yes, and I gotta tell you, I am just so in love with everything, every choice that we made, everything that we use from you guys.
Tell us a little bit about what you did choose, and then we'll talk about the products as a whole.
The floor, of course, that was, you know, the first big choice. That was the first choice that we made. George and I, my husband, we really wanted to use something that was not only beautiful, but really durable, because we have 2 small children. And we've had a dog in the past, he passed away, and now we want to get another one. And we just need something that's really gonna hold up, that we don't have to take care of a lot, and it's just gonna be gorgeous,
and bamboo is perfect for that. And especially the strand woven bamboo. And let's talk about your floor in particular. You chose the Autumn Harvest, which is a gorgeous dark brown. It's not like espresso, but it's just
because at first we picked the espresso.
Right.
And then we're like, God, this is a little dark, and you know, just popping it up one notch, I think really helped bring some light in, and you guys there helped me a lot.
Yeah.
In that.
What's good about strand woven? I'll tell you a little bit about how it's made.
Absolutely.
Essentially, first of all, bamboo is extremely hard, as I mentioned earlier. And when it's harvested from the forest, we harvest between 5 and 7 years. Some harvest earlier than that, and when they do, it's not mature yet.
That's a big difference, right?
That's
Between like the top manufacturers like you guys.
It makes it softer, and it makes it less expensive. So once you're in the 5 to 7 year range, it's nice and mature. It's extremely hard.
Yeah.
And
I just want to tell you that, actually, I don't think you know this, but we had made that mistake before, not with strand bamboo, but with regular bamboo. And buying a really, cheapy product from a discounter, like one of those, too good to be true price.
Right.
And
it was too good to be true, right?
It really was, because it just, we had read and learned, that bamboo was so strong, and it just did not hold out, especially. With that dog I mentioned, scratched it up just so terribly. And I mean, it's like surprising I was able to talk my husband into
bamboo
again, because it really gave him a bad, taste in his mouth about it. But I just knew that there had to be something, there had to be some difference between the real quality manufacturers and that, it is priced, higher. It definitely is. And then so, not to I want you to go back to it, but what is it that's the difference between these?
Yeah, let's talk about what a strand bamboo is. Essentially, a strand bamboo. Before we get to that, why some of the cheaper companies, what are they using? You had mentioned the harvesting, not. Right, they're still using bamboo, but it's just not as mature. So that maturity state is what enables the product to be either harder or softer. And again, during that 5 to 7 years, that's what really creates a hard bamboo tree. That's 5 to 6 inches in diameter. Now with the strand bamboo, essentially it's hundreds and thousands of strips of bamboo cut up, and then they're compressed under high heat and pressure with a little resin. And then that's what makes the plank. And once the plank is made, then you cut it into the flooring itself, grooving and so forth. And then of course staining, all the different colors. And that's
different things you can do, the decking.
Yes, that's something that's unique too about a strand woven bamboo, is you can create numerous styles, designs, and colors. For example, you've got the dark chocolate or the Autumn Harvest. We also have strand bamboo that has a wire brush effect. And that's really incredible. I know you've looked at that.
That's the one that it almost looks like it has some different staining in it. Is that kind of the white?
Yes.
Yeah. How do you do that?
Well, it's stained, and then a wire brush, copper wire brush, is scrubbed over it, and that's what, for lack of a better phrase, digs it out or scratches it, and gives it that real wire brush feel.
And then do you put another glaze on it too?
Yeah. Then there's a finish put on top of that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are some of the unique colors. Then we also have a couple like Antique Toffee and Antique Amber that essentially look antiqued. Whereas with the old bamboo, you saw the knuckles and the joints, and that's all you got.
Or you felt like you were seeing the stalk.
Right, exactly.
And that's when people come into here, they go, what, this is bamboo? I don't get it, because it doesn't have that, bamboo stalk look that people are so used to. So I guess that makes it a really versatile, almost kind of like wood-like, or anywhere you could use wood.
Sure.
Particularly with whatever finish you use or color.
And something that most people don't know is that bamboo is a grass, which they go, a grass, how can that be so hard? But again, it's the nature of the product itself. Now tell me something, you did something unique in a staircase. What did you do?
Yes, we did. We wanted to do a very sculptural staircase, and we needed to do it on a budget.
Yep.
And we really could not think of anything of how to do this. And we didn't just want to put, treads, kind of your typical, flooring treads. We could have done that. But you all helped us come up with this idea because you've got that slab that you can use for countertops and what else you do, like outdoor kitchens.
And you can use it for walls too. Actually, you can use it for wall panels. But I thought what's unique, you used the chocolate dasso.XTR, which is an exterior product.
Right, okay, right. It's the dasso.XTR.
Yeah.
That's what we use.
And we'll take a look at that in a minute, but that's really gorgeous.
Well, and our guy, our flooring guy, he had never done anything like that before, to cut, so intricately.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find a material really to do that with that was thick. And it just came out perfectly.
Yeah. Well, that's great for all your interior spaces. How about exterior? What did you do?
Oh, our deck. It is so cool. Because so first we, found you guys. We had picked our flooring, and then, we were over at the, down here at your showroom. And I guess a lot of people don't know, just quick, go off a little bit, but that Dasso is fairly new here to the United States, where it's like some people may have not have heard of you, even though in Europe and Asia, Dasso's been, a big name. It's been some really major projects, like, was it like the Madrid airport?
Madrid airport.
Amazing, plywood.
Shanghai Expo.
What was it? Is that a plywood material?
No, it's actually bamboo planks too. So it's cut into slats essentially, and then affixed to the ceiling.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. We'll take a look at maybe that, show a picture of it.
I get all off, but I just want to point out that you guys are here in Atlanta. This is your North American headquarters, which is how I, came to,
You're just right up the road in Roswell.
Yes, and I really, that was something that was very important to me, was to try to use as much, local, try to support, our companies here in Georgia and things that, at this point have already traveled, and, I didn't want it to come from California.
Sure.
It already came from China.
Yeah.
And all bamboo comes from China.
Right, pretty much.
Pretty much can't get around that.
Well, so let's talk about the deck for just a moment.
Yes,
do we want to go out and take a look at it?
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's go.
What I was going to say was that I found it from being down there, picked this, and then kind of turned and looked, and you all had a display, and I was like, okay, what is that?
Right.
Because we were going to use Ipe.
Right.
Well, yeah, let's go out.
Let's go take a look.
Okay, are you ready for the big reveal?
Oh, wow. This is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if I like the view or the floor better.
I have a feeling you probably like the floor better.
Yeah, it's Dasso product.
It's just a national forest.
Yeah, it's gorgeous too. Well, listen, let's talk a little bit about how this whole project got started. I understand this is George's baby.
Yeah.
Tell me about the deck structure.
Well, yeah, we need George probably more for that. I got to tell you, I'm not a technical girl, but
it is cantilevered,
all about
right?
Aesthetics.
Yeah.
And when I saw this Strand bamboo deck, which I had never seen anything like that before, I had to have it, especially after we had already picked.
Right.
The Strand bamboo from inside. Correct. So aesthetically and from an eco-friendly standpoint, this was just an amazing choice.
Yeah, it's green.
Technically, yes, I mean, it's everything. Yeah, and it's also extremely hard because we were going to do Ipe.
Right.
That's what my husband had, set, and so I convinced him. And you all helped me convince with all the evidence and the support of just how strong this is and how durable and all. So that's how we made the switch.
Yeah.
Now technically. Don't ask me anymore.
Okay. Well, I'll explain a little bit about it to you. Of course, it's a strand.
You're a technical guy.
Right, exactly. As you mentioned, it is a strand woven bamboo, and it is similar in a sense to the flooring. If you look at the end piece of the XTR, you can see all the grain, which is really all the strands of the bamboo. And again, those are thousands of pieces of bamboo that are compressed, and to make this, it's super dense. And of course, you felt how heavy it is.
Yes.
But now, something else.
But also, just like visually light too.
Yes.
Like I love, it really seems like it floats on this, steel deck. You could see through it.
It's not like a big chunky pressure treated.
Yeah, that's right. It's not like a dense, you know, and that's the thing is like people don't always realize that something does not have to be very, you know, dense and thick to be very strong.
Exactly.
That's what I love about bamboo.
Now here's one of the features that are unique about XTR. It's tongue and groove. It's a V tongue and groove on the end, which means it goes through like that. And while it's not a click system and it's not nailed together, it still gives that rigid support in between planks.
So it's kind of a floating.
Not exactly like floating, but the way it connects keeps it rigid.
So that's the benefit.
Yes.
Well, I guess of any tongue and groove.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it keeps the two pieces together. Now, also for 2012, we're going to have a new model that is fluted on one side and smooth on the other.
Dang, mine's already going to be old school.
Nah, you got like still a cool look.
Cutting edge.
Well, you still got a great piece, and I know you said you like the traction. Guess what? You're going to use the fluted anyway.
I really love the what do you call this?
Fluted.
The fluted. Yeah. I love that. It's like traction, and plus it has the, I guess, the vertical lines, which this house is all about. You know, there's a, you know, thematically, it's very linear and not vertical, it's horizontal.
Right.
Element to it, and so yeah, I would have picked that anyways.
And you know, I know you love green, and obviously because this is made of bamboo, that makes it a green product. But as we talked about the other day, we also manage the forest. And we own the forest
which is really a unique thing, right? I mean, most people, most companies source it, and so, but you all control
the forest itself.
The whole process.
That is correct. And so that enables us to manage the 5 to 7 year process where we harvest it. And you know, as we talk about bamboo, and we've stated earlier that it's grown between 5 and 7 years, that's really when it's mature.
Right.
And that's what makes it
strong.
That's correct. Right. Anything before that makes it a little softer or less mature. So it's a great product. It's incredible here on your deck. And listen, we appreciate you having us here to your home to see this project. And maybe we'll see some other projects you do in the future.
Well,
I know you're a design person, right?
Yeah, you know, we've always, as soon as we finish one, my husband and I, we always seem to get the hunkering to start a new one. Well, I know you know that too.
Yeah,
being
absolutely.
A similar guy.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, thanks again. All right.
I'll walk you out.
That sounds good.